Most people are living the same day on repeat and calling it a life. You wake up, same alarm. Phone before your eyes are fully open. Scroll the same apps you scrolled before bed. Coffee you don't taste. Work you barely remember. Lunch at your desk. More work, scroll, dinner, scroll, sleep. And then tomorrow, you do it again. You look up and it's Thursday. Then it's December. Then somehow, 3 years have passed and nothing feels different. This is autopilot. But here's what almost nobody understands. It's not laziness. It's not a bad habit you picked up. It's your nervous system making an intelligent choice. Predictable numbness over uncertain aliveness. Because conscious choice means responsibility. Responsibility means uncertainty. And your brain has decided that uncertainty feels like danger. Your brain treats not knowing what comes next the same way it treats actual threat, the same biological response. Anxiety, chest tightness, racing thoughts, that magnetic pull back to familiar patterns. The voice in your head saying, just this once, just today, just until things settle down. That voice sounds like reason. It sounds like self-care. But it's just your nervous system doing what it evolved to do, keep you safe from perceived danger. This is why discipline keeps failing you. You're not weak, you're not broken. You're fighting millions of years of biological programming that can't tell the difference between a predator and the discomfort of being fully conscious in your own life. And here's where most advice gets it backwards. They tell you to be more present, more mindful, more disciplined. Force yourself to focus. Just try harder. But every time you try to force awareness, you create anxiety. Why am I still distracted? Why can't I focus like other people? Why does this feel so hard? That anxiety triggers your nervous system. Your nervous system activates autopilot as protection. You're back in the loop. You're stuck in a pattern where your solution becomes your problem. The harder you try to control your consciousness, the more unconscious you become. You probably felt that resistance just now, that subtle urge to click away, check something else, dismiss this as another self-improvement lecture that won't actually change anything. That's not boredom. That's the pattern playing out in real time. Your system trying to protect you from the discomfort of seeing the trap. Most people spend years here, trying harder, failing, trying a different system, failing again, feeling like something is fundamentally broken. Maybe I'm just not disciplined enough. Maybe I'm not built for this kind of awareness. Maybe some people are just meant to live on autopilot, and I'm one of them. But that's not true. The problem isn't you. The problem is trying to solve a nervous system issue with a willpower solution. Here's what actually works. You stop trying to eliminate discomfort and start building your tolerance for it. You stop trying to control your way into consciousness and start training your system to handle uncertainty. This is not about discipline. This is about capacity. Your nervous system is like a muscle. Right now, it's optimized for avoiding discomfort. You need to recalibrate it to tolerate discomfort, not through massive life overhauls, through microwave exposures to uncertainty. The framework is simple, but not easy. You introduce small doses of deliberate unfamiliarity, small enough that your system doesn't revolt, big enough that you're actually training capacity. Take a different route to work, not because it's faster, because every unfamiliar turn is a repetition in uncertainty tolerance. Your brain hasn't memorized this path. It has to be present. Sit with your coffee without your phone, not to meditate, just to practice existing without the buffer. Have a conversation without planning your next sentence. Order something different at your regular restaurant. Walk through your house in the dark. These practices sound trivial. They're not. Your system will resist hard. It'll flood you with reasons why this is pointless. You're wasting time. This won't change anything. Just go back to what works. Every bit of resistance is proof you're touching something real. Every excuse is your nervous system trying to protect you from the discomfort of consciousness. That discomfort is not failure. It's the training. You're teaching your nervous system that uncertainty is not death, that consciousness is not danger, that you can handle not controlling every moment. And here's what most people miss. Comfort and stimulation are not opposites. They're partners working together to keep you unconscious. The couch and the screen, the routine and the scroll, the safe and the distracting. You get the illusion of variety without any of the actual risk of change. This is brilliant design if the goal is survival. Terrible design if the goal is aliveness. Real aliveness requires sitting with not knowing what happens next, existing in the space between the old pattern and whatever comes next. Your threat detection system floods you with anxiety when you try this. It evolved to keep you alive in a world where threats were physical and immediate. It mistakes the psychological discomfort of consciousness for actual physical danger. Both trigger the same response: retreat to safety, return to the script. This is the trap. You think you need more willpower. What you need is a nervous system that can tolerate the feeling of being awake. Because here's the truth. The harder you try to control your consciousness, the more unconscious you become. Control is what created the cage. The solution is building capacity, not forcing change. Start small, microdoses of deliberate uncertainty. Each one trains your system. Over time, your tolerance expands. What used to feel unbearable becomes manageable. What felt like danger starts feeling like aliveness. This is how you escape autopilot. Not by trying harder to be present, not by optimizing your routine into a prettier cage, but by systematically expanding your capacity to exist in the space where you're not running on a script. The irony is that everything you actually want exists in that space. The aliveness, the presence, the feeling that your days matter. It's all on the other side of the discomfort you're avoiding. You can't think your way there. You have to train your way there. Exposure by exposure, discomfort by discomfort, choice by choice. Stop waiting for consciousness to feel easy. It won't. The discomfort doesn't disappear, you just get better at being with it. Your capacity expands. What used to feel unbearable becomes manageable. What felt like danger starts feeling like aliveness. Stop looking for the system that makes presence effortless. It doesn't exist. This is not a problem to solve, it's a capacity to build. Stop optimizing your cage into a prettier cage and calling it growth. The way out is not around the discomfort, it's through it, directly through the thing you've been avoiding. And every day you choose predictable numbness over waking up, you're choosing to stay asleep in your own life. You know exactly what your life looks like on autopilot. You're living it right now. You know the hollow feeling of looking up and realizing weeks have passed with nothing changing. You know what it's like to move through days without actually being in them. The question is not whether you're capable of something different. You are. Your nervous system is trainable. Your capacity can expand. The question is whether you're willing to feel what you've been avoiding, whether you're willing to sit in the discomfort long enough to build the tolerance for it. Because that's where everything you actually want is waiting. Not in the optimized routine, not in the perfect system, not when it finally gets easy. It's in the space where you don't know what happens next, but you show up fully awake anyway. That's the only place where you're actually alive.